Hey guys, I'm sorry I was late today. Had some internet trouble and actually forgot to text everyone, so I just kind of botched it. Anyway, so on that note, I want to start by showing everyone where these videos exist. And I have a VA who I'm periodically assigning to go in there and reorganize and make sure things get filed appropriately. She hasn't done, I haven't had her do that in a while. Not her fault, my fault. So they're under either live, you'll see all of them right here, or under videos. And the URL, and I will send this to you, is that Steve Franco REI on YouTube. So please like and please subscribe. Obviously, I probably can't like and subscribe my own channel, so whatever. Not sure who created that background, but that's kind of cool. Anyway, so this is also the REI Answer Man, and you'll see playlists galore with lots of videos. Pretty much every time I think of something, I do a damn video. So please, this is where the videos all live. So if you missed a video, you want to learn a video, you want to see a video, you really want to see some sports videos, fine. TikTok shorts, virtual assistant training, my projects, whatever. But really what I wanted to cover is the forms. Now, I sent you guys out, you should be getting shortly, if you haven't already, you should be getting shortly the re-invitation to Go High Level. So I'm going to show you Go High Level here. That doesn't mean you already have it. It means we need to get it for you. Right. So that's where we're at. So passwords and sites and tools, which I sent you guys. This is a larger document than everything. We'll be adding more links to this, but the JV team links within here is the one that we're going to. You guys may never go there because I sent you the two main links you need. I sent you the seller link and the buyer link. These are the team forms. Now, just so you understand in my terminology, there's the web forms, the public forms, which are shorter, a lot less questions, and have the disclaimers that we need on the public for opting in. The team forms don't have the opt-in because you're the ones filling them out. And they have a lot of questions. And those are the ones you guys want to put your information in. So even though I'm showing you this, you don't really need this. You need the new buyer form, team, and the other one in green down here, wherever it went, new seller form. All right. So you save these two links, buyer form and seller form. Now, what's also in here, ways you can make money, is somebody wants to apply for an unsecured line of credit. That's the link. They fill out that form. The unsecured, oops, that link is wrong. I gotta fix that link. Okay. Let's do that now. So in Go High Level, when you get your logins, and I think your logins take you right in, but if they don't, you click here to switch, click on REI homepage. Yes, most of you guys work with either Gorilla or Hunting for Homes. REI homepage is sort of my brand name, for lack of a better term, that covers everything. So when people say, where can I find your stuff? I say REI homepage because Hunting for Homes is there, Gorilla is there, everything is there. So it's kind of my tagline name. It's not my email address, which is weird, but that was made for different reasons. And then you're going to look. So I'm looking at sites right now. This is not something you guys can do more about, but apply for unsecured line of credit. I just want to fix the link in that thing there. So just ignore what I'm doing right at this moment because I'm just simply copying this. Copy to clipboard so that I can fix. Oh, it is this form. Okay, so I just need to rename this form. That's what I need to do. So this is all right, so it actually was correct. It just was I hadn't changed the label on it. Okay, no problem. Where did it end up? It ended up here. Okay. So you can make money off that. You will also be able to make money off of other things we won't cover. Asset Mastermind, you can make money off of, and the link is here. You can also make money off of other kinds of lending as well. And these are the buyer and seller web forms as well. So I need to work on putting that one in. Anyway, so skipping this is all you do is you literally forward this to whoever wants to apply for the unsecured, and they fill it out, and it gets sent to us, and it gets taken care of. And when it's all done, the company that does the unsecured lending says, "Hey, Steve, here's some money, and I give you 25% of it, whatever the money is." Boom, up to I think we cap it at like $1,000 or something. So if we get if we get $1 to $4 grand, you get 25%. Oh, sorry, you get 15%. If you're licensed as a lender, you get 25%. There's the line. So whatever, you get that up to 500 if you're not licensed, 1,000 if you are licensed, maximum. Usually it's a couple $100. It's usually not that big because they're not usually borrowing a lot of unsecured. But you made a couple $100 for sending something over. And the percentages may change. This is a new program for us. So other than knowing it exists, don't worry about it. You are doing this one, which is the team version of the form. This is actually the web version of the form. Okay, so I obviously have posted a lot of weird things. Wholesale seller basic team. This is the one. This is the one you're going to fill out. You're going to fill out new buyer team and wholesale seller basic team. If it says a branding thing like that, it's the public form. You don't need to worry about that one. Now, if somebody says, "Hey, how do I, fill out your form?" You can send them this one. That's fine. This one has fewer questions and has the opt-ins. You know it's your form if it says team. So you fill this in as completely as possible, but not very many things are required here. And you're not sitting there on the call, like I said, and you're not saying going question by question because you'll never want to do it. Not every conversation is going to follow this order. In fact, probably none of them are going to follow this order. Property type, self-storage, mixed use, commercial, residential, whatever. Same thing on the buyer side. You're filling it in. And actually on the buyer side, I'm going to get rid of the Zoho CRM. So anyway, so you're filling all this stuff in. And then what's happening is it's going over to the CRM. It's showing up in the CRM. And it's going to show up as a contact. But more importantly, it's going to be one of the things here. More importantly, going to be in the opportunity section. So as you gather more information, so you've gone here and you've answered the stuff here. So you've got on the phone with them, you've collected your information on your notepad or however you're collecting it, and then you put it in here. And you hit submit. It's down here eventually. There's the submit button. Yay! Anyway, so there's that. And then it will show up as a, we'll just move this one back here because it's our test one. New seller lead. Or it'll show up as a new seller lead. That's where the forms, when filled out, show up as new seller leads. You can be spoken to them. Hey, move it over. So if a customer fills in the new seller form, it'll show up here. Every form filled out, every web form filled out starts here. And now you've talked to them, so you're going to move it over here. And you're going to do things like open it on this part of the link here, because this is where you get to answer all the questions. You get to assign it to yourself. And you'll see you all have your own @company email, which forwards to your personal emails. Okay. If you aren't getting the login email to Go High Level in the next few days, let me know, because that means there's something broken here and I need to fix it. You don't ever need to set up Outlook or whatever to send and receive from @Hunting for Homes or @Gorilla. You can if you want. I can point that. We can give you that instruction separately if you want to do that. But I figured nobody really wants to mess with their own email system. They want to do it there. That's fine. I just want, when we brand business cards or whatever, it's there. So you assign it to yourself. Fine. And then as you gain information, you're adding it to this information. So whatever questions you haven't asked, whatever questions you have not answered, get added. Speaking is fundamental, I guess. Including, as you go down here, upload photos or documents. Beautiful. Company name. Price range. Proof of funds available. This is actually a buyer one, because I looked at when I came into opportunities. Oh, so it's a seller pipeline we want to be in. And there may be problems with this because we're just launching this. So if there are, that's fine. We can fix it. Describe condition of property. Do you live there? Team assigned, whatever, expenses by the landlord. You're answering all the questions, including, as we get down here, the links. And this is actually fairly important. Just Google the address. Stick it in there. Pull up the Zillow link, which will be the results. Put the Zillow link there. Google Maps. Google Street View will be another good one. What do you think the ARV is? You look, Zestimate is not an ARV. Maybe you do batch leads, maybe you do some other tool. Give us an idea. Why do you think this? Link to the Google Drive, which might be where you put more pictures or something. Estimated rehab. Why do you feel this rehab? This is you filling in your opinions. Don't feel intimidated. Don't feel like you have to. All we're trying to do is make sure we have one place with everything we know. Property, PropStream, Google Street, flood zone, square footage. Everything we know about the property is in here, if there's a buyer. And you'll see there's some crossover between the buyer form and the seller form. We'll be cleaning those up in coming months. The developer hasn't quite gotten it all straight, but whatever. The point is, you're answering the questions which make sense. And then you're hitting, I think there's a save button. It should automatically save, actually. Let me just make a quick change and let's make sure it automatically saves. I'm just going to go. Oh, there it is. Once you change it, that's when the save button. I knew there was a save button somewhere. You're then going over here and you're saying tasks. If you want to assign tasks to someone, you can assign tasks to me, to Ryan. Like you might assign a task to Steve Review. And you're going to describe the task. And you're going to assign the task to Steve. Think. Also to Ryan, whatever. Save and add another. Fine, next. Notes. We always, when we change anything, we put a note in here. When we talk to the seller or the client, customer, anybody, we put a note in here. When an email comes in, we put a note, we paste the email. So we're just always connecting everything back to here, basically. Notes are the what happened on the deal last. So whenever somebody comes into it fresh, they don't have to look over here and think, what changed over here? There'll be a note telling them what changed over here. They don't have to say, okay, what emails have come in. This is all to avoid, it's a little bit of extra work on us, but a few seconds saves us hours of, well, I texted that to Ryan, well, you didn't text it to Steve, so how does Steve know? Or, that came in by email, well, I didn't, somebody didn't see their email, somebody wasn't copied on it, whatever. Here is notes. Calendar stuff, appointments, documents. Any documents we got, contracts, whatever we upload here. Payments, associations, which this isn't going to be really used, very much. Activity. So that's what you're doing to update your original thing. All right, so we have a new person on the group, Erica, who is our virtual transaction coordinator. She's California based. She is a licensed agent out there. She does mostly TC work and property management work, so she's definitely experienced in that area. All she does for us is transaction coordinating. Basically, she's going to be the invisible one. Copy her on everything. I'm going to give instructions as to where to send things that always get distributed out, just so we have a path for it. So I'm going to set up a central email where we always copy things and it always goes to the right place. So that's how we do it. And that's how we get things in the system. Now, what we will do from here on deal analysis is when you flag me and Ryan, and until we all get programmed on this and you use the Lead Connector HQ app on your phone to make all this appear on your phone, until we all get connected on this, still text me and Ryan if it's multifamily or non-self-storage, or me, Ryan, and Mark if it is self-storage, or me and Mark if you're whatever. Me, Ryan, and Mark for the most part. But you text me and Ryan and we'll deal with it. If it's not appropriate, I'll move it. But basically, let us know, hey, something changed in the system. Because until we all get programmed to use this, I want to use this. But it's, hey, guys, look at something. Until we get in the groove. All right. Now, since a special event came up yesterday, didn't really need to close that. Okay. So Anthony was asked, and this is for those of you in a board that uses Flex MLS. So this is a little bit of broker training stuff, but it's good information for everybody. Customer asked him, hey, can you give me an appraisal of my property? Now, we call these valuations because we're not appraisers. At least I'm not. You guys might be licensed appraisers. Don't know, doubt it. Fine. Appraisers is a specialty license. And it's not, even if you're a licensed agent, you're not a licensed appraiser. So there's two things I do in that case. I will check off the box and I will draw a map around the property, a circle. I like half mile. I will select the boards all boards. And again, if you're in bats, leads, or whatever, the steps of this are different, but similar. What kind of property is it? In this case, it's a multifamily. And I want to know things that have closed, which in the Flex MLS system means search for status and then search for closed. And then we're going to look at the detail. And there's two things you can do. Anthony, when I told you draw a circle, literally I would at this point hit email, interactive version, only send public to your clients or customers. If they're not licensed, don't send them private. All results, and then email this to them. And that will allow your contact to see everything that's sold in multifamily within a half mile of the property. So there it is. Within a half mile of the property, everything that's sold is for whatever period of time. And I probably should have shown you that you could edit the period of time when you're doing your search, and you can set dates and stuff. Now, when you select more than one board, what's happening here is it's not showing me dates because the Scranton board allows me to search by date. One of these other boards mustn't have a field called date. So, whatever. But I like to set last 6 months, whatever, fine. But that has given my customer, an email with the 466 sales. There you go. You can say public, open house date, you can play with fields and whatever, but the point is now my client has seen everything within a half mile. This is a quick way to say to your client, this is what your property is going to be worth. You can then take another step further and you can push the CMA button. And there are videos. All right, so before you push CMA, you're going to look at the details or the list, either one. And you're going to pick the ones that are most like your property. And I'm picking ones that are just random, but whatever. And then you're going to pick CMA. And you're going to say, use all results? Probably not. Use selected. Am I doing a quick, a full, or a statistical? You're going to make that selection. And you're going to walk through this set of questions, depending on what you do. And it's going to let you adjust in here. Subject, property, address information, upload photo, answer the questions. You're going to walk through here and you're going to answer all the questions. And it's going to let you make certain adjustments based on adjusting up and down. So let's say you've got a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and nothing else in the neighborhood is 3-bedroom, 1 bath. There's 2s and there's 4s. And let's assume everything else is the same, square footage, acreage, yada, yada. So you know a 2 is worth $12,000, a 4 is worth $14,000, and everything else is the same on the house. They all look the same. They have similar conditions, similar this, similar that. So a bedroom is worth $1,000. So now you can adjust. You can play with each comp specifically. Adjust city, adjust state, adjust bedrooms, living room. Make adjustments as you need to. There are videos on this that teach you a lot better than I do. So it's now going to tell you low, average, medium, high, its estimate of value. Now, obviously, I fed it stupidly high comparables. I fed it, on a $120,000 house, I fed it comparables that are over, around $1 million. So it's skewed the wrong way. I pick bad comparables. You pick, garbage in, garbage out. You pick crap that doesn't match, you're going to get crap out the other side. But this will eventually, when you click through it all, it will give you now a PDF that you can view and email and whatever that breaks down. This is, I guess, the quick one. Here are the things we thought were comparable, and here's how they fit in. The other CMA choices, full and whatever, have more detail. And this is basically a more sophisticated way of giving your client an estimate of value. So that's pretty much all I wanted to cover, and I apologize for being late today, guys, but I hope that helps. I hope we're moving forward. I do want to start assigning people to tasks. Not really assigning because you're all independent contractors, so assigning is the wrong word. But I want to regroup with each and every one of you this coming week after Thanksgiving and kind of make sure we're focused and kind of make sure, because I've not been hearing a lot from you guys in terms of leads and deals. I've not been seeing a lot of questions come up. I've not been seeing a lot of attendance on the calls. So, I'm fine if you guys have got other stuff going on. Of course, it's your own life, but we're only going to make deals if we're talking to people. And if you're not liking the residential multifamily space, self-storage space, commercial space, let's talk about what you need, land space. We're paying for tools for everything. So really, none of us make money if we don't bring deals. 3 or 4 of you are, and that's the way it goes. I see some people I don't recognize in the chat, which is wonderful. We want to bring as many people as we possibly can into the fold of working together. So this is good. More people, the better. And you guys do get paid pieces of bringing people in. By the way, next month, December 1st, actually, we are starting to market the Asset Mastermind, which is the paid, low-end, cheap paid mastermind that I've been talking about, where 3 trainings a week, live access to me, yada, yada. We're going to start filtering people over between December 1st and January 1st to your access to these hour-long trainings is based on mastermind membership. You can access my videos still, but we're kind of moving it over because it takes a lot of work. If you're a free JV member, if you want to be a free JV member, those folks get in here fine for free at no charge. Asset, there's other stuff you get if you're part of Asset. I will cover that in an upcoming video. But I'm not asking for money at this point. I'm just asking for you guys to identify if I don't know you, if we aren't connected, because I don't recognize the usernames. That's what this is coming down to. And I'm happy to have you here. Don't get me wrong. But I just want to make sure that we're all connected because I see people asking me for my email address. And then that just tells me that we don't quite know each other, which is okay. It's great. I want to meet more people. But so I'm just going to give you all my JV form. So everyone on, please click that link, fill it out. If you're not one of our members, please fill that out. Let's get you in. There's my email. There's my phone number. And by the way, for those of you who are not familiar with our commission payout structure, if you bring a member to Asset Mastermind, if you bring a member to a paid educational thing, you get a third of what I charge, straight up. You get 15 to 25% of any lending fee we collect, because if you're just filling out that unsecured form, you get 15%. If you're a licensed anything, licensed realtor, licensed lender, you get 25%. You get up to half on DSCR loans, debt service coverage ratio loans, fix and flip loans, because there's more client work. You're spending more. You know, with the unsecured, you're sending them a link to a form and you're done. With the DSCR stuff, you're doing more work, so you're getting a higher percentage. With our real estate deals, you're getting between 20% and 50%, depending on how involved you are in the deal. We pay as much as possible. We pay more than most of our competitors. If you're licensed, you always make more. These are the unlicensed numbers. You know someone looking to sell, bring them over. You know someone looking to borrow, bring them over. The more we can do this, the better. The more we can bring people together, the better. So I'm going to I'm just going to paste this over to some of the people on the thing. If it'll let me do that. I'm not sure if it'll let me. Huh. Okay, so that's what I got. Well, let me know, guys. Thanks. Bye.